Hi, today we're going to be reading a book about alliteration and tongue twisters. It's called A Tongue-Twisting Tale, Six Thick Thumbs by Steve Charney, illustrated by Michael Chesworth. A Tongue-Twisting Tale, Six Thick Thumbs by Steve Charney, illustrated by Michael Chesworth. Four Corners was a quiet little town where nothing much ever happened. The grown-ups woke up each day and went to their grown-up jobs. The kids attended the Four Corners school and learned how to read and write. Every day was like the one before, and that was just the way everyone liked it. Until, that is, the Great Twister came to town. The Great Twister started out as one tiny tongue twister, 6 thick thumbs. But for some strange reason, this tongue twister began to grow longer and longer. As it grew, it began to attract lots of other tongue twisters. She sells seashells by the seashore, 6 thick thumbs. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. And now as the hours passed, these tongue twisters swirled faster and faster until they formed a tornado. By the time the Great Twister hit Four Corners, it was the most powerful tongue-twisting tornado of all time. When it whooshed through town, everything in Four Corners turned topsy-turvy. Every sign, every book, every letter, and every chalkboard turned into a tongue twister. When the townspeople started to clean up the mess, they noticed that Four Corners seemed different. The words on every newspaper, every movie theater, and every storefront had suddenly become confusing, and every man, woman, and child had started speaking in tongue twisters. The people of Four Corners found that they liked to say more difficult tongue twisters each day. In less than 3 seconds, town champion Florence could say, "A box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, a biscuit mixer." And the owner of Totally Terrific Toys found that he could say toy boat over and over and over without making a mistake. Only one person in Four Corners couldn't master tongue twisters. His name was Tom. When the Great Twister whooshed through town, Tom was away visiting his grandmother in the city. When he came back home, everyone was whispering, talking, yelling, singing, and laughing tongue twisters. Everyone except Tom. Tom tried to fit in, but it was no use. He was tongue-tied. His father helped him practice night after night, but it only made things worse for poor Tom. "Let's try it one more time," said his father. "Repeat after me. Rubber baby buggy bumper." "Blubber baby buggy bumping," said Tom. "Try saying just a little at a time," his father coached. "Try rubber baby buggy." "Flubber blubber buggy," Tom tried. "Tom, you're driving me buggy," said his father. "I'm going to send you to Uncle Eric. If he can't untie your tongue, no one can." So Tom headed over to Uncle Eric's house at the edge of town. Uncle Eric was a tongue-twisting expert. He thought he knew just how to help Tom. "Peter Piper is the most basic tongue twister," Uncle Eric began. "Say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers." "Peanut pepper," said Tom. No, said Uncle Eric. "It's Peter Piper." "Pitter-patter," Tom repeated. Shouted Uncle Eric. "Party pooper!" Tom shouted back. "It's hopeless," said Uncle Eric. But Tom was determined to master tongue twisters. He worked day and night with Uncle Eric, and he soon began to improve. After a week, he was able to say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers several times without making a mistake. And after another week, he could say, "The skunk said the stump stunk, the stump said the skunk stunk," 10 times in a row with ease. Finally, Uncle Eric proclaimed Tom was ready to go back home. "I've made up a list of tongue twisters for you to say each day," he told Tom. "Remember, practice makes perfect." "Thanks, Uncle Eric," Tom said gratefully. "You surely are the sharpest shooting tongue-twisting teacher in town." But when Tom returned home, all was not well. "The Great Twister is headed back again," his mother said worriedly. "It's due here today, and they say it's even bigger than before." "What's going to happen?" Tom asked. "Another twister might completely destroy this town," his father answered. "It's turned every town in its path into a state of total confusion." "Tongue twisters could be fun," said Tom's mother, "but a lot more of them would make it harder for us to say anything. Life would become all muddled up." Tom went up to his room to think. "There must be some way to stop this tornado," he said. "I wonder what could be stronger and more powerful than the Great Twister." Suddenly he had an idea. He took Uncle Eric's tongue-twisting list out of his pocket and ran downstairs. "Follow me!" he called to his mother and father. Tom dashed out the door and headed toward town. Tom fought his way up the steps of City Hall. He took the microphone and called out to the crowd. "Listen, everyone!" Tom called. "I have a plan!" The townspeople looked up at Tom. "Let's fight back! We'll make our own tongue-twisting tornado to break apart the one that's heading toward us," he said. "We should take 10,000 tongue-twisters together and turn them into a tongue-twisting tornado, then turn the tornado toward the twister that is trying to turn us topsy-turvy." Everyone stared at Tom in amazement. His idea was brilliant. A mighty cheer arose from the crowd. "Let's get to work!" shouted the mayor. Tom borrowed a big fan. He turned it on and started reading from Uncle Eric's list. "Pleasant peasant present, black bug's blood, 3 free flow pipes, Tim the thin twin, tinsmith thinks she sells sheets. The good blood, bad blood, the boot black bought the black boot black, regal rural ruler, 6 thick thistle sticks. Surely the sun shall shine soon. Sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep'll sleep in a shed. Red leather, yellow leather. Old oily ollie oils, old oily autos." Tom said these tongue twisters over and over, and the fan started blowing the tongue twisters into the air. Then everyone else joined in with their own tongue twisters. Before you could say sick sheep 3 times fast, a small tornado swirled up before them. Then Tom threw in some letters from cans of alphabet soup. Children tossed in their homework and sang the ABC song. People threw in billboards, posters, labels, bumper stickers, and anything else with tongue-twisting words. To their delight, the new tornado grew and grew to a terrific tongue-twisting size. Finally, Tom and the people of Four Corners blew with all their might and sent their tornado swirling toward the edge of town, just as the Great Twister approached. Everyone watched silently as the tornado from Four Corners neared the Great Tornado. What would happen? Would the Great Twister destroy the little town? The 2 twisters collided with a terrific bang. Then a great mass of words, sentences, knock-knock jokes, speeches, and homework assignments exploded, flying high into the sky, and the twisters untwisted. Everyone shouted with joy. The people of Four Corners marched through the streets with Tom high on their shoulders. They celebrated their tongue-twisting victory all day, and the mayor proclaimed Tom the most powerful master of tongue twisters ever. "I'm simply speechless," said Tom as he proudly accepted his award.